What's good, guys? I know a ton of you have been asking and wondering if I changed my sensitivity settings since my last video, and I finally have. Now with the release of Sanhok, I've been trying to improve my close range battles, and it started off as a struggle for me because of how mediocre the speed of my 1x optics are. So recently, I increased some of my close range optics settings to help me be able to follow a person's movement better when I ADS or over the shoulder aim, and they're behind some sort of cover. Obviously, it's easy to spray and pray when no cover is between you and the enemy, but once you have some obstacles you have to work around, then ADSing is the way you want to aim. This is much more difficult when your sensitivity is slow and can't follow a player that is strafing quickly from side to side, or when you run into an enemy that has some nice talent and likes to peek in different locations on you. Having a quicker 1x optic aim can help you counter that. Of course, if you start to use a red dot at a farther range, your speed will be tough to handle, so taking time to work on that too is very important. It took many games for me to figure out what felt good for me. So landing hot every single game, like places like Pachinki, Raw, School, Hacienda, or in the new Sanhok map, Boot Camp. All these spots are real close quarter combat areas that help me improve and get used to my close range battles, both with over my shoulder aiming and 1x optics. Now, as a reminder, these settings are what suited me best with a lot of practice. These help me get to my comfort level. I will give you info about each sensitivity setting and what my settings are set at. And from there, you can do what you want with your own settings, but copying mine will not help you improve right away. All it takes is some practice and patience, playing multiple games with the same settings, and if you're confident that those settings don't fit you, then you change it. Just make sure you give everything multiple chances, because one time is never enough. Let's get started. I'm still on Type B, and I will always be on Type B from here on out. Holding down that left trigger and shooting is 100% way more comfortable for me. Helps me hold the controller how I've always done it in any other first-person shooters. The only thing I don't like is how you have to hold your breath while shooting. Holding both the left trigger and left bumper is not ideal in many situations. Though with Sanhok coming out, most close range battles you won't need to hold your breath, so hopefully this problem won't bother me as much. My right thumbstick dead zone is now 15. It was 21. I lowered this to make my analog stick more sensitive friendly for myself. The higher your dead zone is, the more pressure you need to put on your thumbstick. The lower your dead zone is, the less pressure you need to put on your thumbstick to get your aim cursor moving. So if you're in situations where a guy pops up behind a tree, the lower the number your dead zone is, probably the crazier you'd aim. And the higher it is means it would take you longer to aim towards that character because your thumbstick you would have to push in one direction farther than you would be if it was at a lower setting. Movement sensitivity is how quickly your character will move at a certain rate. The lower the number, the more pressure you need to put on your left thumbstick to get your character to move quicker. So if this is low, then you could easily creep around houses and be more ninja-like. But the higher the number it is, the harder it is to be stealthy because you need to very slightly push on the left thumbstick. One slip up on that, it could cost you your location. I have mine at exactly 50, making it just right to do everything I need, whether it be stealth or quick movement. Vertical sensitivity is the speed of how fast you look up and down compared to when you look left and right, whether it be zoomed in or not. Having this at a lower number means your up and down sensitivity will be slower than your left and right. Having it at a higher number than 100 will make your vertical sensitivity quicker than your left and right. I have mine at exactly 100 because I like everything same in all directions, left, right, up, and down. This helps my muscle memory remember my aim in any direction. General sensitivity is a sensitivity of you looking around while not zoomed in at all. This is just you looking around in general directions while not looking down your sights of your weapon. Mine is at a 10 because I like to look around quickly and efficiently, both when looting and when using the free look camera to keep an eye out for enemies. Aim acceleration, when off, I heard this makes aiming much easier because it isn't as clunky. Everything is smooth and simple. This is because aim acceleration is supposed to increase the speed of when you are zoomed in and scanning left or right. But when it is off, the speed of your scanning when zoomed in stays the same throughout the process. In my opinion, I like to have this on because I feel like your scope aim speed is just a bit too slow when aim acceleration is off. As I said before, it is all about your own comfort level. My aim acceleration is on 5, not too fast and not too slow. Just right in my opinion with close optics and with any scope. Perfect. Over the shoulder aiming is when you aim over your shoulder, also known as soft aiming. I had this at a 5, but I pushed it to a 7. It felt more at home for me. I was able to fight off those shooting and strafing enemies. 5 was just a bit too slow to keep up with the enemy's movement, but 7 felt just right. 1 times optics are iron sights, red dots, and the hollow sight. I had this at a 4, but I pushed it up to a 7 and couldn't be happier. Having that feeling of knowing you could control the sight when aiming down it and still follow the enemy's movement while controlling recoil was huge. This was a game changer for me. No matter what body part I could see behind the obstacle, I was able to follow it with my 1 times optics. Much easier than when it was at 4. 2 times scope was at a 5, but now it's at a 7 for me. It felt more fluid, more controllable, especially with the AKM. My 3 times went from a 5 to a 6. This sight I feel like I'll need to get used to more because of Sanhok. I never liked it in the first place though. 4 times I kept it at 3. This will be my go-to scope sight for snipers and distance single shots. I didn't want to change it because I already felt comfortable with it. 6 times and 8 times are also the same. I didn't feel the need to change any of these because I already am so used to all of them. Sanhok may be small, but that doesn't mean you won't be using these scopes. And that's it for today's video, guys. Those are my new updated sensitivity settings. I hope any of the info I provided will help you out, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. I'm shooting for 50 likes on this video. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and make sure you hit that bell to turn on notifications to know when a video of mine goes live. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace. Okay, last guy. Let's get him before he heals his teammate. Oh, he's healing him at the tree far north of me. I'm throwing a molly where it's at. Burn, bitches.
See if I can get him behind.
Nice.
He's on fire.